And we're joined on the phone today by actor Ed Begley Jr., also a pretty well-known environmentalist, as Earth Day is coming up here. Hey Ed, how's it going today?
Great, Dustin. How are you?
I'm excellent. It's an honor to be speaking with you.
Likewise, pal. Thank you.
Well, Earth Day is here, and for the listeners out there who might only know you from your acting career, can you tell us a bit about, the environmental side of things?
That started for me, Dustin, in 1970. At that point, I was 20 years old. I'd lived the first 2 decades of my life in smoggy LA. So after decades of that, I'd had enough, and I wanted to help clean up the air. That's one of the things they promised we could do. And look at the success that we've had, Dustin. It's many years since 1970. But even though we have 4 times the cars and millions more people, we have a fraction of the smog. We all did that. And there's lots of jobs cleaning up that air with, catalytic converters on cars and making power plants cleaner. So it's something that's good for the environment and can be good for the economy.
Yeah, and it seems like now more than ever, people are becoming more divided on the idea of, global warming and pollution, whether or not we should be taking things seriously.
Whether or not you believe in climate change, I hope you believe in dirty air and in asthma and other, pulmonary ailments or what have you, because that's something that's going on around the pollution that still exists. Even though we've cleaned up the air a lot in LA, areas like the ports of LA and Long Beach and shipping centers and what have you that are creating a lot of pollution. So you want to clean up the air in cities like Houston and Bakersfield in LA. You want to lessen our dependence on foreign oil and put money in your pocket. And all the things that you would do to combat climate change, to get off some fossil fuels and to move on to renewables, all those things would be good for everything I just mentioned.
Definitely, and it seems with so many people now quarantined at home, now might be a great time to kind of look around your home and reassess things as well.
Yeah, there's something called vampire power or phantom power. And like a vampire, it's sucking from you and doing nothing in return. So you put those kinds of things that you don't need on all the time when you're out of the house, which we aren't much these days, but when you're asleep, you don't need all these things sucking power. So put them on separate power strips, isolate those things that you don't need when you're out of the house or at night, and you turn those off when you leave or turn them off when you go to sleep, and you'll save a lot of energy. You see your bill go down. So that's something we can do right away. Changing out our light bulbs to LEDs to more energy-efficient lighting, using dimmers, weather stripping, energy-saving thermostat, all that stuff on that list is very inexpensive, and it will save you money.
Definitely, and again, Earth Day is here, but this is stuff we should be doing all year round. And Ed, I got to ask you about your acting side of things. It's amazing the amount of films and shows you've done in your career. Do you get to a point where, you kind of start to forget some of your credits? Maybe you got to look up yourself on Wikipedia, to double check?
Well, occasionally somebody says, I saw you in Quincy or Adam 12. I go, oh my God, that's right. I forgot I did that back in 1972 and 1977. I remember these shows when people mention, and it's a great trip down memory lane, but how lucky am I to still be working after 53 years in the business? I started in 1967. It is 50 plus years later. I don't care if you're in the storm door industry, you sell used cars, to be 50 plus years in any business, I'm just blessed.
Yeah, it is incredible, and I always love seeing you pop up in the Christopher Guest films. Do you know if you guys might work together again, you and the rest of the usual crew?
I talk to Chris often, and I really love and admire him, so whenever I get to work with him and his band of friends, it's just a treat beyond measure. Best in Show is one of my favorite movies I've been in ever, if not the favorite. His films are wonderful, and he's a dear friend and a dear man and a great environmentalist himself, so I'm proud to call Chris a friend, and I just love those movies. They're just great entertainment.
And of course, if you didn't do anything else, you'll always be known as drummer Stumpy Peeps in Spinal Tap, so there you go.
There's a perfect movie for you. I was in it very little, Spinal Tap, and I'm proud of every second I'm in that movie, and I just love that film. To make a movie like that in the early 80s, it still holds up today. It's just a classic film, Spinal Tap.
Well, on your show now, Bless This Mess on ABC, I know that's wrapping up its 2nd season soon. Do you know if you'll be back for more episodes on that show?
I hope so. We haven't been picked up for a 3rd season, and I can understand that. We're not sure when Hollywood is going to be filming television shows in the future, so when things get more safe for us to get together and make movies and do things like that and make TV shows, then we will get together, but not a moment sooner. We want to all be safe, and in the meantime, there'll be some reruns, I guess.
Awesome. Again, Ed, I'm a big fan of yours. I got to mention quickly, I don't know how often you hear this, but I loved you in the film Santa with Muscles. It's been great speaking with you today.
Oh, thank you. There's a funny film for you.
Thanks a lot, Ed.
Thank you so much, Dustin.